scene 2 that Sophie Moll showed Rahel was the bad baby. During the funeral service, Rahel watched a small black bastard climb up baby Kochama's expensive funeral sari with gently clinging cold claws. When it reached the place between her sari and her blouse, a roll of sadness or bare midriff, baby Kochama screamed and knit the hair with her hymn book. The singing stopped for a was happening, and for a far worrying and self-reflecting. The sad priest dusted out her curly bars with gold-ringed fingers, as though hidden spiders had spun sudden cobwebs in them. The baby bat flew up into the sky and turned into a jet plane without a crisscross trail. Only Rael noticed Sophie's small secret scarred well in her coffin. The sad singing started again. It sang the same sad verse twice, and once more the yellow chairs were like a froze with voices. When they lowered Sophie's small coffin to the ground in the little cemetery behind the church, Rahel knew that she still wasn't dead. She heard, on Sophie's most behalf, the soft sounds of the red mud and the hard sounds of the orange laterite that spoiled the shining coffin polish. She heard the dull thudding though the polished coffin wood through the satin coffin lining. Some priestess' voices, muffled by mud and wood. We entrust in the aunt's most merciful Father the soul of this our child departed, and we commit her body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Inside the heart, Sophie's mouth screamed and shrieked Satan with her teeth, but you can hear screams through earth and stone. Sophie Moll died because she couldn't breathe. Her funeral killed her, dust to dust, to dust, to dust. On her tombstone is said a sunbeam lent to us too briefly. Ham explained later that too briefly meant for too short a while. After the funeral, Amu took the twins back to the Kottayam police station. They were familiar with the place. They had spent a good part of the previous day there, anticipating the sharp, smoky thing of old urine that permeated the walls and furniture. They clamped their nostrils shut well before the smell began. Ham asked for the station house officer, and when she was shown into his office, she told him that there had been a terrible mistake and that she wanted to make a statement. She asked to see Velutha. Inspector Thomas Matthew's mustaches passes like the friendly her India Maharajas, but is as were sly and greedy. It's a little too late for all this, don't you think? He said. He spoke the coarse Kottayam dialect from Malayam. He stared Hamu's praise as he spoke. He said the police knew all they needed to know, and the Kottayam police didn't take statements from Vaishyas or their legitimate children. Hamu said about that. Inspector Thomas Matthew came around his desk and approached Hamu with his baton. If I were you, he said, I'd go on quietly. Then he tapped her breast with his button. Gently, tap, tap, as though he was choosing mangoes from a basket, pointing out the ones that he wanted packed and delivered. Inspector Thomas Matthews seemed to know whom he could pick and whom he couldn't. Policemen have that distinct. Behind him, a red and blue board said, P. Politeness, O. Obedience, R. Loyalty, E. Intelligence, C. Courtesy, E. Efficiency. That's all I see. When they left the police station, Amma was crying, so S and Rahel didn't ask her what whiskey meant, or for that matter, legitimate. It was the first time they had seen their mother cry. She wasn't sobbing. Her face was set like stone, but the tears welled up in her eyes and ran down her rigid cheeks. It made the twins sick with fear. Am's tears made everything that had so far seem unreal. They went back to Yemen bypass. The conductor, a narrow man in khaki, slid towards them on the bus rails. He balanced his bony hips against the back of a seat and clicked his ticket punched at Amo. Where to the click was mean to mean. Rahel could smell the chef of past tickets and the soreness of the steel blue past rails on the conductor's hands. He's dead, Amos whispered to him. I've killed him. I am an Hassan said quickly before the conductor lost his temper. He took the money out of Amos' purse. The conductor gave him the tickets. Esther folded them carefully and put them in his pocket. Then he put his little arms around the rigid weeping mother. 2 weeks later, Esther was returned. Hammond was made to send him back to their father, who had by then resigned him lonely TSD's job in Assam and moved to Calcutta to work for a company that made carbon black. He had married, stopped drinking more or less, and suffered only occasional relapses. Hess and Rahel hadn't seen each other since, and now 24 years later the father had returned to Esther. He had sent him back to Yemen with a suitcase and a letter. The suitcase was full of more new clothes. Baby Kochama showed Rahel the letter. It was written as lengthy, feminine, common school hand, but signature underneath was the father's, or at least the name was. Riles wouldn't have recognized the signature. The letter said that the father, had retired from his carbon black job and was emigrating to Australia, where he had got job as chief of security at a ceramics factory, and that he couldn't take Esther with him. He wished everybody, and I am the very best, and said that it would look in on Esther if he ever came back to India, which he went on to say was a bit unlikely. Baby Kochama told Rahel that she could keep the letter if she wanted to. Rahel put it back into its envelope. The paper had grown soft and folded like cloth. She had forgotten just how damp the monsoon air in Yemen could be. Swollen cupboards creaked. Locked windows burst open. Books got soft and wavy between their covers. Strange insects appeared like tears in the evenings and born themselves on baby Kochama's dim 40-watt bulbs. In the daytime, their crisp, inclinated corpses littered the floor and windows well, and until Coach Maria swept them away in her plastic dustpan, they heard smell of something burning. It had changed into John Rain. Even opening it, the waiter hammered down, reviving the reluctant of the green muslin, the pickles, pixie carpet bombing, steel, tea-colored puddlers, the way memory bombs, steel, tea-colored minds. The grass liquid with green and pleased happy hairworms frolicked purple in the slush. Green as not the trees bent. Further away in the wind and rain, on the banks of the river, and the sun and thunder darkness of the day, Hazel was walking. He was wearing a crushed strawberry pink t-shirt, ranging dark now, and he knew that Rahel ate corn. Hazel had always been a quiet child, so one could pinpoint with an innate degree of accuracy exactly when, the year was not the moment for day, he had stopped talking. Stopped talking altogether, that is. The fact is that there wasn't an exactly when. He had been a gradual winding down and closing shop, a barely noticeable quietening, as though he had simply run out of conversation and nothing left to say. Yet as the silence was never awkward, never intrusive, never noisy. It wasn't an accusing and protesting silence as much as sort of activation, a dormancy, the psychological equivalent of what the lungfish do to get themselves through the dry season, except that's the case. The dry season leaks through it will last forever. Over time, he had acquired the ability to blend into background wherever he was, into bookshelves, gardens, cartade, or streets, so pure, inanimate, almost invisible to an untrained eye.